Welcome to my podcast. This is a podcast where I'll be teaching you all the systems and strategies you need in creating your visibility so you can turn your passion for coaching into a profitable business. I'm your host, Michelle Quay. I am a visibility coach, content and email marketing strategist, international speaker, and author, as well as the founder of Elevate Life Coaching. Let's just say that I know a few things about overcoming seemingly impossible obstacles in life and in business. I'm on a mission to be the champion that helps you to get to the top of your mountain, one courageous step at a time. Welcome to the show. And today I am excited because as I was reading her bio and the story about her, I realized there's so many things that I didn't know about her when I was on her podcast show. So today I have a very special friend and peer coach, my colleague, Laurice Duffy. Laurice Duffy is a life coach passionate about inspiring and empowering women. She focused her intuitive skills on middle-aged women by helping them breathe life into the lost. She believes that all women rise and live in a beautiful life simply by choosing to do so. Laurice is also a certified passion workshop facilitator and has conducted several vision board and self-love workshops. Her Facebook group, Rise, is a group where women support and inspire each other, has more than 2,500 members. She hosts a weekly series called Align and Awaken, where she interviews women who have used personal adversity to find their power and lead a purposeful life through the power of choice. She also spread inspiration through her Instagram, A Mindful Journey. Laurice is a speaker, podcast host, and the founder of Kindness Matters Scholarship. Laurice has a bachelor's degree in psychology, and her life coaching certification came from the Institute of Professional Excellency in Coaching. Now, her story is going to inspire you. So, ladies, I hope you have your tissues with you because today we are going to hear an amazing overcoming adversity story. So, without further ado, let's bring her on to the show.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, I was having goosebumps as I was reading your bio and all your experiences. And I know it's been quite some time since we last met.
Yes, it has. And I'm so happy to be here with you. So thank you.
I went back and read so much about your story. And what really touches me is that what you're sharing is something that a lot of women are going through. There's always some type of loss, whether it's in relationship or a job or career or something. We're constantly experiencing that shift and that change in life. And I love the fact that I remember I keep following you on Instagram because a lot of things that you share, it's very soft and very how should I say it? Very motherly and loving. Mm-hmm. So I'm just naturally attracted to you. So every time I see your post, I'm like, there she is doing her thing.
Aw, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm absolutely all about the love and the self-love and, being the mother of 4 children, certainly just have that maternal way about me.
Yeah. And one of the things that we were talking about earlier, even before on the show, was the fact that, you had experienced a really big change in your life. Yes. And so tell us a little bit about that story and how did you get into coaching?
Okay, so I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, always believed that I was here to serve in some way, helping people, therapy, something. And with only a bachelor's degree and not a master's or moving on with your education, I wasn't really able to do that. I got married and started my own little entrepreneurial business that had nothing to do with anything. It really helped pay the bills. We had some infertility struggles and then got pregnant with triplet boys. And then 2.5 years later, had a 4th. So we were like instantly this family of 6, basically. Mm. And I was so grateful. Having these children was just like, I wanted them, I wanted to have a large family, and infertility can be really, really hard on your heart. So I was so grateful to have these 4 healthy children. And about 10 years later, I was a stay-at-home mom running my business from home, had a wonderful husband, family, lived in a great community. And I said to my girlfriend, with all those things, don't you think I should be skipping around the house? Because I'm not. And I wanted more. I was very happy in my marriage, with a wonderful husband, very happy with all the things I had. I wanted more. And I wasn't fulfilled by the business that I was in, but it paid the bills. So I ignored the nudge and I dismissed it. It didn't go away. I felt a little shame that anybody would give their right arm to have all that I had, and I wanted more. About a year and a half after that, my healthy husband, extremely athletic. We have 4 boys. He coached them in basketball, baseball, and football. He coached high school sports in our community. Yeah. He just started having some really odd symptoms. I'm the mother of 4 boys. I don't worry a whole lot. I'm not, it takes a lot to excite me. I figured we would figure this out. We would figure it out. It was something that we needed to, have some medication, some therapy, and it would get, some physical therapy would get worked out. And seeing doctor after doctor after doctor, nobody could figure out what it was. I thought we had gotten all the scary stuff out of the way. About 9 months later, we were in a neurologist specialist office. Kevin took off of work. It was a 10 o'clock appointment. We were going to go out to lunch after. We were laughing during the appointment together. And the doctor sat us down after he was done evaluating Kevin. And he said, "This is very serious." And he quickly got my attention. And he said, "I believe that you have, to Kevin, the beginning stages of ALS." Now, we knew about the ice bucket challenge. We weren't sure what ALS was. So my husband said, "Well, what does that exactly mean?" And I'll never forget the doctor's words. He said, "How much do you want to know?" And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, like I've never been so frightened. And he said to us that he explained how Kevin would begin to lose the ability to do numerous things. And finally, he would die. This was, he said he believed he would probably have about 3 to 5 years to live. And, this was a terminal illness. We were so struck by trauma. Here we were thinking we were going out to lunch. We weren't that concerned. The man didn't smoke, didn't do drugs. He was the picture of health. Yeah. And this just happened. And basically we came home and received a lot of support and strength from friends and family. Mm-hmm. And we believed, actually a family member had shared with us how Lyme disease symptoms overlap with ALS symptoms. Mm-hmm. We read a lot about it. We found out about a man who was misdiagnosed with ALS who had Lyme disease. Mm-hmm. We met with a Lyme literate medical specialist who believed Kevin had Lyme disease also. We jumped on that boat. It gave us hope. I mean, we wanted hope. It feels so irresponsible now looking back, but at the time, we wanted so badly to believe it that it was easy to just jump on, in this camp of, okay, we did every therapy, every diet, he was on antibiotic, IV. And during that time, I found out about life coaching. And it was like, this was the answer. This is what I had been looking for. And to be perfectly honest with you, Michelle, I realized when he had said, 3 to 5 years to live, and when I had time to really let things settle in, I was thinking, so I'm a wife and I'm a mother. Mm-hmm. If my husband were to die in 3 to 5 years, had that been true, because at the time I thought it wasn't, and my triplet boys will be leaving for college about the same time, who will I be? Who will I be? I will lose that identity of being a mother and a wife. What what am I?
Mhm.
So when I found out about life coaching, and I truly believe the universe puts things right in our lap that's needed. A week later, my girlfriend, interestingly, the same one who I was sharing that I should be skipping around the house and had this, wanting more nudge,
Mhm.
shared with me that she knew someone who was a life coach. And I said, oh my gosh, I want to be a life coach. I've never moved so fast towards something. And it
Mhm.
was the worst time, so often we put things off. This
Mhm.
was the worst time for me to start something. I had a sick husband. I had 4 young kids I was taking care of. I was running a business and taking care of everything in our home. But I did it because I believe we're either pushed by pain or pulled by pleasure. And I was 100% pushed by pain in this situation. And it gave me not only a certification and a fulfilling career, but it gave me a wider perspective. It
Mhm.
really shifted how I thought about life. It gave me so much support within the classroom. And I graduated, and Kevin cheered me on the entire way. And March of 2017, um, Kevin started to decline. And like I said, he was on every possible, medicine and therapy that we could have found. And I said to him something that was very difficult. I said, I'm not sure if we're searching for answers or running from the truth. And it was at that time I said, we have to go back to the ALS community. And the ALS specialist at Columbia Presbyterian in New York said to us, I don't know if you have Lyme disease or not. What I know for sure is that you have ALS. And 13 months later, Kevin passed away. And during the time that after we were sure it was ALS, I had learned a coaching principle that was each moment describes who we are and gives us the opportunity to decide if that's who we want to be. And I took care of my family those last 13 months with that principle in mind every single day. Because every time I wanted to be a victim or I wanted to be just so angry, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I was going to choose it. I wasn't going to just do it without consciousness, without awareness. And usually, when I asked myself, is this who you want to be? The answer was usually no. And I really decided that I wanted to be the best I could be for my children, my dying husband, myself, and also my future self,
Mhm.
because she had needs too. She wanted no regret and to feel really good about who she was during a time that was tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're making me all teary because what you have just described, and for those people who's jumping on today, I'm speaking with Laurice Duffy, who is a life coach, women empowerment coach, and she's also the host for Align and Awaken. I'm speaking with Laurice today about her journey of making that choice, a mindful journey. I think what you've shared just now, it's really it describes a lot of our journey together collectively as women, as humanity. There's always a moment where, well, you have everything already. You have a great husband, you have a beautiful family, you have children, you're taken care of, you're a mom, you're a stay-at-home business owner. You had everything already, but there's always a time where we sit down and maybe I can have more. And that desire of wanting more, sometimes it led us to looking for something that is, we know it's there, but we don't know what it is.
Mhm.
But it feels like something, like you said, life always throws something on our lap at the best time we need it.
Mm.
And what you also shared was very it touches my heart because I can only imagine the moment that you stood there and receiving the news from the doctor, that moment where you didn't have that life coaching skills.
Exactly. I can think about her and just want to reach my arms around her and hug her because the degree of fear and trauma. I mean, here it was like my best friend. I got my, we had so many dreams. We had so many things. We had such a big family. We were so together. We did everything together as a family. And there was just, I couldn't imagine life without him. I couldn't imagine my children without their father. It's heartbreaking enough that you're going to lose your husband, but then to watch my children, and have to tell them that they're going to lose their dad is a whole nother degree of sadness and grief. And it's a lot. And exactly, I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the tools. I didn't have that widened lens of that different way of looking at life. And I thank God. I thank God, for giving me and directing me towards exactly what I needed during this time. And I really decided that, my children were going to go through something that they had never gone through before. And I knew that they were relying on me to lead them. And actually what happened is after we came back from Colombia and it was confirmed that it was ALS, we had to bring all the boys into the family room. I did all the talking. Kevin had really lost the ability to speak pretty much at that point. And no one said a word. And I shared with them that we had done everything we could, and we had really hoped it was Lyme disease. And at this point, it's been confirmed that Daddy does have ALS. And I felt awful. I felt like we brought them on this emotional roller coaster. We did the best we could, right? But looking back, it just felt like, oh gosh. And after I said everything that I needed to say, and really, because I promised them I would be honest with them, that anything that I knew, they would know also. And nobody said a word. Nobody said a word. There was silence. And one of the boys said, "Mom, are you okay?" And I said, "Yes." And we were done with the meeting. And I couldn't get it out of my head because I couldn't imagine why they were asking me if I was okay when their father was the one that was going to die. And then it hit me. They were watching their father decline. They knew he was going to die. They knew they were going to lose their dad. They wanted to make sure they weren't going to lose their mom. And that gave them strength, knowing that I was still going to be the mom, the maternal mom that I wasn't going to just fall into a deep depression or drink myself, to peace or, whatever, that I was still going to be the strength that they needed. And that was like my superpower. It was like I tried to control Kevin's illness, and I wanted him to get better so bad to make this right. But when I accepted that that wasn't going to happen, that was not anything that was in my control. Mom, are you okay? Shifted me to focus on what I could control. And that was the well-being of my children. That was to guide my husband along this journey towards death in the most loving, caring, understanding, patient way I possibly could. And to be the example of that for the 4 boys. And also to give myself what I needed. And that's how I really gained, what I call my superpower through this experience that was heartbreaking. And how I can look back at it now and really feel like I did everything that I could for everybody, including this person, this future me now, because I really thought about her. And, it had its challenges. I don't want to make it sound like it was just this perfect, it absolutely had its challenges, but we did it with intention. We definitely did it with intention. And I was with him in hospice, and I was stroking him until he took his last breath. And I'm so grateful and have so much gratitude for being in that moment of transition with him and giving him so much comfort.
Yeah.
And I get to have that. I get to have that peace in my heart forever. And I'm so grateful for it. I really am.
Hey there, sorry to interrupt. What is your storytelling superpower that builds trust, authority, and attracts so many clients in your coaching business? Storytelling in your coaching business can boost your conversion rates. In fact, every story you tell can make marketing your business quick, easy, and actually kind of fun. This means that you can write, speak, create any messages that resonate with your soulmate client without sacrificing your uniqueness and feeling icky. The sheer magnetism of your story is what will ultimately hyper attract your community of soulmate clients and followers. You really can get paid for who you are and not just what you do. Ready to find out your happy ending? Head over to quiz.braveyourbrand.com to find out what storytelling superpower you have in your coaching business. When I was reaching out to coaches who has a story of bravery, and I remember I coming across yours, I was like, yeah, of course, because we connected, number one, and number two, I knew you had a bravery story, but I didn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And so when I reached back out, I was like, "Oh my gosh, don't even bother with a brief interview. That's just hop on and let's go."
Yes. Right. Exactly. And
Yeah.
share. Yeah. Yeah.
And so people who's hopping in right now, it's where I'm talking to Laurice Duffy, who is a life coach, woman empowerment coach, and she's also a passion workshop facilitator. There's so many things that she's working on. And what I hear is that being strong was a choice. It was a choice that you made. And which bring me to today's topic or the title, Destiny versus Choices. What are the differences and what is destiny and what is choice?
I believe that our circumstances don't create our destiny, our choices do. And I say that often because my circumstance was that my husband was going to die, and there was nothing I could do about that. But my choice was, well, who am I going to be during that period of time that he's essentially dying? And who am I going to be as a single woman, as a solo parent? And that's where choice comes in. That's where we get to decide if we're going to be, wallowing in self-pity forever. And let me just say this, there is a time that you need to feel your feelings. We need to feel it to heal it. I don't want anybody to think that piece needs to be bypassed, because it does not. It is standard. It is mandatory. But after that, after you decide, sadness is invited in, but it's not moving in, then it's time to decide who you're going to be. If I intentionally did not think about who I was going to be, it'd be very easy to be in a victim role, in a victim mentality. I have 4 boys that are going to be in college this year. And, that's a lot, but I know we'll always make it work because I'm choosing to make it work, and we'll figure it out. And whatever that means, some of my kids have to go to state school. Yeah. Okay. That's just a choice, to make it happen. It'd be wonderful if they could all go to these big, schools in other states, but that's a choice, right? So we make choices that work, and we make choices about who we're going to be, and we make choices about what that journey is going to look like, and we always really get to choose. So I think there's so much freedom in feeling like my circumstances don't get to control me. They don't get to decide what this life looks like, because no matter what, I can always get around those obstacles and choose again.
Mm.
Mm.
I love because I follow you on pretty much everywhere, and I remember seeing your 4 beautiful children, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's her family, and it just fills my heart. And if I were to invite your boys to come and do an interview, I'm sure they would all say that you are an amazing mom. You're the mom who gave them hope. You're
Oh.
the mom who gave them strength, and you're the mom who set an example of how they can be a leader in the future.
Well, thank you. I love that, and I appreciate that, and I do think that they're definitely paying very close attention to um, my perspective,
Mhm.
and it's I think it's really positive for them to be in that energy that I provide in our home, and I think that they really appreciate it. I think they really appreciate how I've handled this and taken a very, very difficult situation and made it,
Mhm.
the best possible,
Yeah.
way that I could.
For someone who's going through that journey of, experiencing that loss, how like what's one tip or one advice that you would have for them?
Well, definitely to feel their feelings. Now, I want to say that I had experienced a lot of grief during Kevin's illness.
Mhm.
Not everybody gets that, option because sometimes it's an accident or something unexpected. Um, I think I actually have a few, if it's okay.
Of course.
I really want to urge you to really feel your feelings, to be with your feelings, because just pushing them down, they come back up at some point. You can't busy them away, drink them away, shop them away, work them away. It just doesn't work. So be in it. The only way through the pain, or the only way out of the pain rather, is through the pain. And I want to say that accepting support is really important. It is a gift to the people giving it, as well as yourself and your children. So, really allowing people to help you is giving them a gift, because people just are willing to do anything. They don't know what to do with all this pent up sympathy and sadness that they have for you and your family. So, you are really giving them a gift by saying, okay, yes, if you could take my children, and add them to your carpool, or pick this up for me at the store, or drop dinner off so I don't even have to think about it. Those are just wonderful things to allow people to do. And think about your future self. Think about what she needs, as well as yourself in the situation. While Kevin was sick, I would go to dinners with girlfriends and laugh a little and have a glass of wine. I needed that to be able to come back and give my family everything they needed. So do not feel guilty for filling up your tank, because you need that. You need that to be able to give everything that you need to give to your family.
Mm. Oh my gosh. These are so valuable, and I couldn't agree more about like just allowing yourself and letting that emotion ride with that emotion, and being able to like really give yourself that space and time to heal from the loss, or going through that grieving process and going through that loss.
Absolutely.
Absolutely beautiful, and looking into your future self.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's your unique journey, and you have to follow your lead, your map, not what everybody else thinks you should be doing or
Mhm.
thinks you shouldn't be doing. You need to really go inward and listen to your intuition, really follow your own guide.
Yeah. Yeah. So looking into your future self, Laurie, tell us about your future self. What do you have going on that you might be able to share with us?
Well, I just finished a book called Raising Hope, and it is going out to be edited next week. So I'm really excited about that. It's all about raising hope in my 4 children, but like raising them, raising hope, and also raising hope in other people, which is just what my heart is here for. I really love to inspire and sort of resuscitate that hope in people. And I'm a women's empowerment coach, and I have private sessions
Mhm.
that I do one on one. But also, right now, we are enrolling for our Rise Up membership group, which is a wonderful way to be in my energy, to be in my space. We meet once a month on Zoom, and we have a private Facebook group that has a lot going on in it. And it is just a group of women that we support. I share, I have guest speakers, experts come and talk about different things. We have a book club about energy and really manifesting your desires, because I'm such a believer that our desires that have been placed in our heart are there because they're ours. And I don't want anybody to feel what I felt so long ago, which is ignoring the nudge and just feeling, because society, creates this belief that, if you want too much, everything's going to get taken away and you shouldn't want a lot. And, yes, no, want a lot, go for it, listen to those desires in your heart. They were placed there for a reason. So that is a wonderful place to be, and to, like I said, get into my world. I'm the one who facilitates it, and there's a lot of perks in it and discounts when you're part of that membership group.
I love it. Rise Up membership. And where can people find that information?
So I'm on Facebook, A Mindful Journey, my
Okay.
Facebook page. I also have a group called Rise. So both of those places you can find the advertisement for this group. And also a mindfuljourney.ld on Instagram. You can find me there, follow me for inspiration. And DM me if you can't find it, and I will get that right out to you.
And I couldn't help but like checking out your website this morning. So I noticed there's a lot of things going on, and I capitalize everything so that the viewer can actually differentiate the LD versus
Oh,
the
very smart.
just so that it's clear and people can find you.
Yeah. Yeah. You can jump on my website and definitely get
Yeah.
access to me there too. So
Oh my gosh, I feel like I can talk to you forever, but I do have a 30-minute show, and I wanted to be respectful of your time.
yes,
I do have a couple of rapid fire questions that
okay,
my viewer and my listener would probably love to hear more about who you are. So ready?
yes.
What time of the day are you most inspired?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably the afternoon, or late morning, I would probably say. I go and there's a drive-through coffee shop, and I get my coffee after I've worked for a while, and I go to the cemetery. And I park there. I find it to be so peaceful. And I drink my coffee, and that's when I really get inspired. Just sitting there in my own space with myself in the quiet, really thinking about, what I want to put out in the world, what I want to say, how I want people to feel. So I would probably say when I get that coffee, which is late morning.
Yeah. I what caught my attention was the cemetery. Of all the places that you would want to sit, you sit next to the cemetery.
Yes, and it's interesting. My mother just passed away in September, and she is right next to Kevin. So I don't necessarily get out of my car. I don't always go sit by their headstones, but just being there, I just feel a sense of peace. I really do. And it's just a beautiful place. The church is gorgeous, and there's flowers, and I just feel very inspired. I really do.
Yeah, it's so beautiful the way that you describe it. It almost
Yeah.
feels like you're having coffee with them.
Yes,
Like after.
exactly. Yes, exactly. Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite quote came from The Little Prince. It says, "It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eyes." What do you believe is essential but invisible to the eyes?
I think our loved ones' presence I think it's essential to believe in the love that still continues between you, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a child, a partner. I think we can't see it because we can't see them, but I think that love between us is is there forever and essential for us to keep growing and believing and rising.
That's beautiful. I think this is a really important message for a lot of us who have gone through a lot of loss over the last couple of years, and those who are continuously experiencing that loss even as we speak today.
Yeah.
And so our hearts go out to those who are going through those very difficult journey, but hopefully giving people an option to think differently.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's interesting, Michelle, because my mother died. My parents were married for 63 years. And my father always says, it's so interesting. I wish I could think the way you do, because he's just, I keep telling him, Dad, it's just a pause. You're going to be with Mom again, and he says, do you really think that? I said, I don't think that. I really feel like I know that. And he always says, I really wish I could think. I really wish I could think like you all the time. So I'm happy to carry that over for him and really give him some hope.
And they can think like you by going to your website at
Yes.
mindfuljourneyld.com, right? They can actually think that you do have that different perspective and different way of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Any last word for our audience before I close?
I think probably there's so many different things I could say, but probably just to quiet the noise down and really go into that quiet space where you can listen and follow that intuitive guide that is within you, because you have all of the answers. And if I had to add one more thing, it would be to really practice self-love, to really pay attention to your inner dialogue, because a really wonderful quote that I love is, you think you're thinking, but you're actually listening. So really pay attention to what you're feeding your mind with and the things that you're saying to yourself. It's very important.
Love it. Absolutely love it. You just load it with my show with tons of values.
Well, I'm so glad and I'm so honored to be here and love spending time with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Laurice. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, beautiful. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast and found values from this episode, I would love for you to leave me a rating and review. Now, as a token of my appreciation, after you have left your review, I want you to take a screenshot of it and send it to me via email at michelle@elevatelifecoaching.org, and I will buy your next cup of coffee. I promise. One thing that I was struggling with in my early years of business was finding the right people to connect with. It feels like you are on this entrepreneur journey on your own. Sometimes we all just need friends who can share our dreams and goals and who can relate to us what we're going through as we grow our business together. If you are a woman coach who is ready to grow your coaching business and you're looking for strategies to get seen, get heard, and get higher, I want to invite you to come and find me in our community on Facebook at the Visibility Confidence Lounge. This is a community of heart-centered women coaches who are looking to grow their coaching business by creating engaging, authentic, visible content with storytelling for their business to get more leads and attract more clients. I will see you at my next tea party. Bye now.